Welcome to Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you plan with purpose and retire with joy. Find more information, including how to reach the team, in today's show notes. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens, powered by Ricken Financial.
Let me correct you there, big voice. It's retirement planner Heidi Ricken Provost alongside licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. But thank you for kicking with the Rickens. Thanks for streaming the podcast this week. My name is Mark Owens. Get all the information here in the show notes. First and foremost, how's everything going? How's this week treating you, Gerry? Heidi, great to see you.
Well, you know, we're planning with purpose and retiring with joy. And when you retire with joy, that doesn't mean a person. That means actually having a good time in retirement.
Wait,
we're having a good time.
Did you just announce that you're retiring with joy someday? Did I miss that?
I haven't met her yet, so I'm not retiring with her yet.
Did I hear that correctly? Did Gerry just say he's planning with purpose and retiring with joy?
For other people.
I have some breaking news this week, and it just got real
I was
deep,
like,
real.
pardon my language.
It's the podcast. We can do this. Hey, man, it's Ricken After Dark.
I know.
We are going to do that. Listen, we are going to do that one day.
We are going to do that.
Could be a lot of editing. So
Yes,
we could never play it on the radio show. Maybe we have a couple of glasses of bourbon, maybe some brown liquor with us, just talk about life. Those are usually the best ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Life is good. And
Didn't we do that?
Life is good today.
I came to see y'all a couple of years ago, and we did the radio show. And then didn't we sit around and say, let's go ahead and do a podcast while we're sitting here? And it was either after y'all had an open house or after an event, and we just poured a couple of cups of brown liquor and just hit record and started talking. I think we've done that.
Hit record.
No, we didn't hit record. I forgot. We had too many cups of brown liquor.
We got done. That was the
One
best
day we will do that
We're
together.
going to actually hit record the next time.
Gerry, hi, that was the best show we've ever done.
Hey, it's all because Brandon wasn't with us. So
That's
next
right.
time you come to visit, we need to bring Brandon. Shout out to Brandon Benefield, who is our fantastic producer, and we would not be kicking with the Rickens without him. So.
We love that guy.
He cleans
do.
up
Thank you,
this
Brandon.
mess, I'll tell you. This week, we want to have a conversation every week, and we just got done having a great conversation this weekend on the radio show about the joys in life. As Gerry just mentioned, retire with purpose, live with joy. But it's not all puppies and unicorns and sparkles and flowers all the time. There will be hard times. There will be speed bumps in retirement, and that's something that you'll focus on, and you'll focus on that reality of retirement planning.
Yeah, because, life is not all rainbows and butterflies every single day. And, you know this too well. Recently, we were having an offline conversation before we got started because, Mark had a pretty tough conversation with his daughter. She got back from camp this week, and one of their friends passed away from cancer while she was gone. And, that it's part of life, unfortunately, we got to live through this. And I think our family is a little nonchalant when we talk about death because my mom was raised by a funeral director. So death has been just a part of the Creeks has our life forever. And it's, there are so many, I can't tell you how many phone calls especially when I was in college, I'm away from school or at school, and I get out of class and I have a voicemail. It's like, "Hi, sweetheart. Just wanted to let you know so-and-so died. All right. Love you. Bye." And it was like,
well,
Mom, Jesus.
She still reads the obituaries every day because she said she read the obituaries as a kid to know whether her dad was going to be at her swim meet. But she got that habit and she still reads it. And she's like, "Oh, so-and-so died." I'm like, "How do you know that?"
Oh, yeah. But, and I mean, in a way, I'm actually kind of glad that it's nonchalant for us and that we did make it a part of the conversation because it is a part of life and
it
it's
is a
not
part
as
of life.
Scary to think about death since we talk about it so much. But the reality is it is scary to think that we're not just planning for our retirement life. We're planning for the conversation we'd have to have if our spouse is gone.
Yeah.
Or if we're gone.
Exactly.
And what happens to our spouse.
And what's happening with our money and our wishes and our everything when we're gone.
That's true because, when you just don't think about that because you think about living a life of joy in retirement, but things do happen. People lose their lives every day or they lose their health every day or they, things happen, bad things happen. And, bad things happen to good people and we meet a lot of good people and we try to prepare for those bad things
Yeah.
to happen to those good people. we have had clients who passed away, and, really looking at their income, what happens, if they had a pension and they passed away and they didn't have a survivorship option in their pension, or they didn't select the survivorship in their pension. We made sure that we had a pension alternative. We had life insurance that would cover that we could build an income stream off of the life insurance proceeds, which are tax-free, and continue that same payment. We do plans like that. We do workarounds, and we do effective things to make sure that you're always prepared in retirement, regardless of the speed bump or the trap that you're put in.
Yeah. And, it's not something you want to sit around and talk about all the time because we don't want to think about our demise.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you never do an estate plan, you're still going to die someday. Because I can't tell you how many people meet with us and they're like, I know I need a trust or a will, or I need my power of attorneys, or I need this, or I need that. But I'm not ready.
I'll get around to it someday.
Yeah.
And around to
it's
it.
Either I'll get
happens.
around to it, or I don't want to think through that right now. Or my favorite, I'm afraid that if I plan for that, I'm going to keel over.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in control. We don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I'm not a Sicilian actuary, so I'm not going to tell you when you're going to die. But,
Wait, a what?
Well,
Sicilian actuary? What is
Mark,
that?
you know what an actuary is?
Yeah.
An actuary is a person in a law of large numbers. It says, here's when this group of people is going to die.
Okay.
You know what the difference between an actuary and a Sicilian actuary is?
No.
A Sicilian actuary is the person who tells you when and how you're going to die.
it's the joke that, the Italian's going to walk in here and off you from the mafia.
Okay. Now, would you just kind of a dumb question though? Would you want to know? Like, let's
Hell
say,
no.
Now the genie out of the bottle and says, "I will give you the opportunity." No.
No, I have a lot of friends down at the Italian American Bocce Club down the hill, and we never have that conversation.
Yeah.
We never have that conversation.
I don't know. There's kind of part of me that does, because at least I'd have time to plan. Because what if they say, "Oh yeah, dude, it's going to be in 3 weeks." You're like, "Oh hell, let me get my stuff together real quick." But like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know, but I kind of would love to know as well. Just so
Yeah,
let me see if my schedule is clear that day.
But that's the thing. Like, there's a fine line between like living for today and being prepared for that day too.
Yeah,
that's true. When I first started this business years and years and years ago, I had one person that came in. He said, I said, "What are your goals?" He said, "Well, my biggest goal is I want to spend everything and make sure that the mortician's check clears, and that's it. And then there'll be nothing left."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, in order to do that, we need to know exactly when you're going to die. we can't do that. We can't make that kind of plan.
Grab your day planner, see what you have for that day.
Exactly.
But there is something to be said about that. And you mentioned I had to have the tough conversation with my daughter Caroline. Some of our really good family friends, Allison and Jason, we're all the same age. Our kids went to preschool together. She's been fighting cancer for a couple of years. Cancer. God, I hate cancer. And she fought it. She rang the bell, and then it came back, and it was so much more aggressive the second time around, and just ravaged her entire body, and she passed away. And it was tough. It sucks. There's no way around it. And telling Caroline was not easy. But maybe this is forever the eternal optimist that I am, that everything has a little bit of glass half full. As much as my heart hurts for Allison and Jason, they had time, because I think they knew about 6 months ago how this was going to end, and they had time to get it prepared. They had time to get the quote unquote affairs in order. As ugly and as hard and as horrible as that is, at least it wasn't like a car crash or a heart attack.
The sudden deaths are so different than those kinds of deaths.
Terminal diseases,
is going to happen because someone's terminal.
Listen, even if and they're terminal,
it sucks no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can actually do to prepare yourself emotionally to lose someone you love.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But we can prepare ourselves financially. One of our clients that we lost this past year, God, I miss him. Freaking hilarious. He was really good friends with my grandpa too. And there is nothing that could have emotionally prepared us to lose him, because he was gone in a matter of minutes.
Yep.
And yeah, there were some financial plans in order and everything, but it's still this is really tough to navigate. Like, if his wife was sitting here having to navigate all of these big decisions without him now and without us, quite honestly, I can't even imagine how tough that would have been.
Well, you'd feel so lost. You just feel so lost no matter what. And to have a support group that can work with you on the financial things is vitally important.
Because we've lived it too many times, losing people we love. And I want you to be able to grieve with your family and do what you need to do to survive the worst point in time in your life when you lose someone you love. I don't want that to also be impacted with financial stressors. So, there are a couple things each of us need to do to make sure that we're going to be okay in the future. The first is you got to have a power of attorney in place for financial especially. Healthcare directive too, but I'll tell you, I have actually, we meet with a lot of nurses around here, okay? And I've met with a couple ICU nurses lately that told me, you have the best of intentions in the world, but I will tell you, even if that damn thing is tattooed on your hand and you can QR code the tattoo and look at it in the ICU, in the worst point in time, that healthcare power of attorney may or may not be effective. But I will tell you, the financial one, there is no world we live in where anyone will let you do a damn thing financially if you don't have a power of attorney on record somewhere. So, since we don't have a crystal ball, we don't know what the future has in store. We have had clients that have been incapacitated for a short period of time or for a long period of time. And, even if you're married, sometimes you need that financial power of attorney. If you're not married, you need a financial power of attorney. If you have an adult child over the age of 18, they need one on record too. But, if you do that, then some of those short-term decisions that have to be made in those what-if moments are covered. What if you don't have a trust or a will, or you've never done a beneficiary review? Then, unfortunately, things can implode overnight.
We've seen beneficiaries who their ex-wives, ex-husbands as beneficiaries, and all of a sudden someone passes and the money goes to them.
Yeah.
Oops.
And it was never intended for that person who passed away to do that, but they just didn't ever pay attention to the details. Or when they signed up for their 401k at their company, they put their spouse on it, or they put their parents on it. Then they got married. They never changed it. They passed away. Their parents got the money. The spouse didn't. All those things can happen out there. We don't want those to happen.
I'll never forget one of our other clients that we lost. She also had cancer, and it was horrible. And there was a lot of time to prepare until there was not a lot of time to prepare at the end. And we probably had 15 conversations with her that she needed to update her beneficiaries.
We need you to get in. We need you to do this.
And she kept saying, I don't want to, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And then there was a point in time she couldn't be ready because she was on the way out, you know? And the unfortunate reality is the papers never got signed.
Oh, no.
And, she had two sisters. One of them passed away while she was fighting cancer. The other one was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And then all of a sudden...
It was on Medicaid.
Yeah. The sister that was on Medicaid, talk about mucking the waters, because now all of her money went to the sister on Medicaid. It ruined...
It kicked her off Medicaid.
We have the best of intentions as human beings, but the reality is you need to plan.
You have to act on it.
Yeah, you need to plan for it, and you need to act on the plan. And we also need to ensure we're consistently reviewing our beneficiaries, our transfer on death, and our payable upon death to make sure that it matches our wishes.
Or you just talk to us about what we can do estate planning wise.
I was listening to a podcast with Kenny Chesney. He big time country music star, and he's been married. Like, he had that little thing with Renee Zellweger or anything, but he doesn't have any kids. He's not married right now. And they were just talking about all his success and about never having kids. And he said, one of the only regrets I have about not having kids is, what do I do with all my stuff? As I'm talking to my financial people, he said, I've got so many years of great stuff. And he's like, I don't know what to do with it. And there's something to be said with that. I'm sure you run into that sometimes too. If people, for whatever reasons, don't have kids, maybe they don't have a whole lot of family. There's still like opportunities or still, conversations you have to have if you are without kids, or even if you're just single. Maybe you never got married for whatever reason.
Right.
Or maybe you do have kids or grandkids and nieces and nephews and all these. And we also have the conversation with people who want to put together a list of their things and who they want to give it to and everything. And then they have that conversation with those family members. They're like, I don't want your doll collection. I don't want that. I don't want your anything. And I can't tell you, oh my gosh, how many people have come in and met with us and they're like, my family doesn't want any of my stuff. What do I do with it now? Exactly. But if you didn't have the conversation, how are you supposed to know? And if you left something that matters to the wrong person, sometimes you need to have the tough conversation, but the point of this is we need to have
give it away while you're alive. That's what the point is. Give it away while you're alive. Yeah.
On your things. Yes.
Yeah.
But also have the tough conversation sometimes, because when it comes, it would be so much easier to have that conversation and work through a solution before you're literally on your deathbed and you're having a conversation with someone and all of a sudden you need to come up with a new solution in an already stressful time, or when you're not emotionally prepared or cognitively prepared to make some of the tough choices. So, that we do need to plan for our life, but we also need to plan for our death.
Yeah. Because, if you don't plan for your death, the courts can actually dictate where your assets go. And that may not necessarily be your desires or your wishes, but the courts just to say, hey, this is where that goes. And people can contest it and all kinds of things can happen. And it can get very ugly upon death. And we've seen it so many times. Greed takes over, and that's a terrible, terrible thing to take over when that occurs, because people are grieving and all of a sudden someone is just thinking about the money.
But here's the other thing. If you plan in advance, guess what? You can actually dictate who becomes your largest beneficiary and ensure that it's not the IRS if you plan in advance. But sometimes we also see people make the wrong choices, and then all of a sudden they're no longer here and the IRS benefits more than their family. Yeah. So, it takes a little bit of planning, but you can ensure that your family benefits the most from all of your hard work in your life and in your death.
As long as you plan.
You got to have that plan. I think, Heidi, it may have been you that said this, and this was a while ago, and you said that you had one of your clients, your family members, we don't call them clients, we call them family members at Ricken Financial. One of the family members, their spouse passed away, and you said that after they called the family and the friends, you said we were third. They called us third because we were like family, we were their friends, but more than that, we had earned their trust enough to know that they called us to say, all right, here's what happened. So-and-so passed away. All right. So we know you have all of the stuff and files, everything put together. So it was like one less thing to worry about in one of the hardest moments of their life. And that just, I guess, that little sense of relief to that, that client, but also to you to know that you were number three. That's got to be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's overwhelming, but it is a good feeling. And, one of the toughest client losses that we've had in the last year too was one of our clients who, because of his religion, had to be buried same day. And his wife called right away afterwards and was like, oh my God, I forgot to call and invite you guys. And she felt horrible, but we're here every step of the way.
Yeah. I get
and
that.
Yeah. And even if we can't make it to the celebration of life in that moment, we're going to celebrate your life, because if you have ever been a member of our family, you are correct. When you are a client, you are our family.
You can't get away from us.
You matter. And we're going to celebrate your life in your life, and we're going to celebrate your life in your death as well.
I love that. I love that. You can find all the information about Ricken Financial here in the show notes. Hey, look, not to be Debbie Downers here this week on the Kicking with the Rickens podcast, but these are just real conversations that you're going to have. And that's why they will be proud to be number three in your life. Let Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost be number three to you. RickenFinancial.com. You can find the phone number, all that information here in the show notes. With that being said, I think it's a great point to hit pause for this week. As always, thank you so much for streaming the Kickin' with the Rickens podcast. But before we get out of here, Heidi Ricken Provost, Gerry Ricken, take us home.
Every day is a holiday.
Life is short. Laugh hard.
This has been.
And hey, wait, we got one more this week.
Happy
Mark.
birthday, Mark.
Oh,
Yeah, happy birthday, Mark. Love you, mean it.
love you, mean it. This has been Kicking with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Oh.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.